Good morning, he's, she's, theys, and castaways, and welcome to Sarah and Thomas's Survival Guide.
Yeah. All right, let's get right into it this morning. So, spectator draft. Only person voted out so far is Liam. That leaves only 3 perfect drafts.
Me, Cassidy, and Alexandra.
Damn. 6 spectators are tied at 11 points because Liam is their first person going out. Be careful. We're looking at maybe Evan leaving soon. Yeah. We'll have to see how that goes.
Depends on how the Guardian Idol plays out. All right, so our Challenge 16 was the talent show, and I was the reigning champ of the Season 1 talent show, so I know what I'm talking about. And I just wanted to say everyone that entered the talent show, they were amazing. They were so talented. When I was voting, I tried to be as objective as possible. I assume you did as well, unless you didn't vote and forgot.
No, I voted.
Oh, good. And I just vote for the castaway that I wanted to get immunity. So first off, Ricky and Isabel did not submit talents, unfortunately. Alec and Duncan showed their musical talents with trumpet and violin. They were really good. I mean, I'm not a musician, so I don't really know how to gauge that, but they sounded cool, and I think that's talent enough.
Duncan had my heart. Alec, cool scale, but Duncan did it better.
Yeah, okay. Evan solved the Rubik's Cube. He did it fast, but it was too slow, and I skipped through it. So Liam just kind of screamed. I don't know what that was about. Maybe if he did a different talent, he would have not been voted out. Because I feel like he has the potential to be talented enough to have won the immunity. Cassidy was a little booty kisser and gave the hosts and production members and even spectators little poems. I mean, you guys, even you specifically watching this right now, there's a poem for you. The sentiment was greatly appreciated, but I didn't vote for that.
Neither did I.
Rachel rapped. It was good. She rapped the whole song, I guess. I don't know. I've never heard the song before, so probably more impressive if you have. But yeah, Margaret, otherwise known as Title Text here, displayed some of her graphic design skills with History Club posters. Not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed in her because she did tell my friends and I at dinner that she could do the devil sticks, but didn't have any, so she was just gonna send the posters in, and I was kind of sad about that. I wanted to see her talent. And Abby danced to Holding Out for a Hero. I think that's the name of the song, I assume.
Yeah.
And wore a very cool dress. She danced all around the Slater Auditorium. And then Izzy, the winner, displayed their highly praised drag, according to people on Yik Yak and to them specifically, and won the immunity with their dances.
Dance and lip sync, yeah.
Yeah.
All
very
right.
blue.
Yeah, very blue. Challenge 17 was Sloped Bracket. An interesting name, but the first part of the challenge was the game Slope. If you've never played it, a ball rolls down a slope. You don't want the ball to fall off said slope. You also don't want ball to hit obstacles. Very easy concept, except it's not easy. Alec somehow blew it out of the water and won. So now we have a new bracket where Ricky and Isabel had to start with a thumb war, and then whoever wins continues up the bracket. So depending on where you placed in slope, depending on where you placed in the bracket. Ricky and Isabel did the coin flip.
No. Ricky struck a deal with Isabel.
Struck a deal with Isabel.
Because he said he wanted to do it, and he wanted to continue, and he would save her if he won the immunity. So.
Interesting. And we're just now up to Evan as of right now, so that's interesting.
Yeah, Ricky beat Abby. But Evan apparently has some prowess in the thumb wrestling
If you've ever been to any of the Denison Gaming Guild events, his game shows he does a lot of thumb wrestling. It's an entire category.
All right. Well, and he or Ricky kind of need the... Oh, not Ricky doesn't need it. He just, to keep his word to Isabel. But Evan, I mean, he's kind of close to the edge here. But also he kind of wants to be, and he didn't want to try in the challenge, so whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Liam's tribal. Rest in peace, Liam. I will miss you dearly. I'm so sad that he won't be in spectator chat. But afterwards, and we covered a lot of this in his interview, so we did that yesterday if you want to watch that.
Go watch.
Also, if you want to watch the talent show videos, if you haven't already, they're also on the channel, and I think they're on Treemail still. Okay, so Evan got really paranoid because of the Alec vote and the 6 votes for Liam. He doesn't know that Liam voted for Alec. He thinks that he voted for Cassidy. And so he's texting everyone and telling everyone that they, asking who they voted for, which vote was theirs. And then Alec, with disregard to the rules, sent a screenshot of his vote, which caused him to be blacked out for until the next tribal. Because it was against the game rules. He didn't know that, and so he deleted it immediately, but that made Evan trust him completely, and so now Evan's kind of at a loss because he doesn't have Alec, who can be voted for, I'm pretty sure, which kind of sucks. I hope they don't vote him out because that's kind of lame, just like not entertaining-wise, but whatever. The other Cassidy votes, Izzy lied about what Cassidy vote was theirs, because it was the one Margaret had, and then they didn't think that Isabel would ever flip, which she didn't, so. And then Margaret doesn't trust Evan anymore because he accused her of switching sides, and so now she's going to switch sides, ironically, and Cassidy kind of has all the power now, just with the votes and with, her numerous idols. All right, Castaway analysis.
All right. So, Evan, he's lost his marbles. He's going sicko.
No more marbles.
He's going sicko mode right now, and I have no clue what he's up to anymore. He wants to get out, but other people don't want him to go. Cassidy doesn't want him to leave because that's just boring. Evan wants to go out on his own terms, but I don't know how that's going to play out. We'll see. He might purposefully throw the thumb war if he hasn't already.
He approached Cassidy and gave her his guardian idol to use on himself, and basically said he's going to vote for Izzy. So if she protects him, then Izzy goes out, and if she doesn't, then obviously she's picked her side, and she trusts Izzy more than she trusts him.
Mm-hmm. We have Ricky not doing much, was busy partying instead of doing the talent show, I think.
Yeah, I mean...
But you know what, that's
college. Good for him.
Respectable, that's valid.
Drinking that pina colada and thinking about how him and Duncan are going to be final two.
We'll see. We'll see.
Even though final two is determined by the last challenge.
Yeah, and you have to get there first to begin with.
Anyway.
Duncan, Alec, they're still very loyal for Cassidy and Evan respectfully. Duncan, Cassidy, Alec, Evan. I think it'd be interesting if they actually played on their own. Duncan hasn't done much on his own. He said some funny, meme-worthy stuff, but he's not playing by himself. He's playing for Cassidy. Alec is the same, though I think Alec has more potential to play by himself.
Yeah, I think Duncan has potential too. He just isn't going to. Like, he came into the game with Cassidy, and I think he would be really interesting to watch if Cassidy wasn't here. But I mean, because he's like Cassidy's right-hand man, except for the fact that he's also her left-hand man. And then also he doesn't move the hands. So, I think that if without her, I want to see what his game would have been, because I think he would have had a good social game, but he really only talks to Cassidy. I mean, a little bit to Ricky and all that kind of stuff. But I think he would be an interesting player once she's voted out, but I don't know if she will be voted out, because she does have 3 idols, so.
Well, they'd have to sneak attack her and get it by everybody.
Or just try to vote her out 3 trials in a row.
That would be a waste of time, and I don't think we have.
No, yeah.
I don't think we have that kind of time to do it. As we already mentioned before, Alec has blackout. He's not going to be able to talk or anything. Naughty child. Read the rules. Said in the interview. and it's there for everyone to read. It's kind of a big deal, too. Rachel, she's making a bunch of silly decisions, but, it's all fun, it's all flirty, and we love to see it, holding up Tribal, making people anxious, putting Cassidy.
She's just on her own schedule, and we love that for her.
Yeah, making
She
Cassidy
is.
run like a yellow belly chicken around the place.
Oh, yeah, I know. Cassidy was freaking out, and we're just like...
If you weren't there at Gaming Guild Saturday, you got to see it all, and that was fun. Abby, she's got her head in the game. She's finally doing stuff. She's in there. She's in it to win it, and that's what we like to see. And Margaret has...
Yeah. Oh, just Abby, from last season to this season, it's astronomical.
Oh, yeah, it's a huge change from last season. Just
I'm loving
not doing
seeing
anything,
this.
and then now I'm doing stuff.
Yeah.
And then Margaret, she's discussing her situation with Cassidy, and looks like she might align with Cassidy. She seems to have, finally lost faith in Evan.
Yeah.
And can't blame.
And, and Cassidy and she had to talk in person. I'm kind of confused because when I looked at the one-on-one, she mentioned trying to vote for Isabel, which is kind of annoying because, again, I feel like Isabel, yes, I don't think Isabel deserves to win the game because she hasn't been playing very hard. But also, Isabel, out of all of the people, you don't want to go for someone that's a bigger threat. Obviously this is only in the case that Evan wins the immunity. But, Isabel, I don't know. It makes sense. Because if she's grouping with Cassidy, it's not like she's going to vote out Izzy or Ricky or Duncan, who are kind of more of a threat. So.
Isabel has been caught up with family life and
Yeah.
whatnot. She hasn't put too much effort in.
Definitely.
I'm surprised she hasn't medevaced yet.
Yeah, I thought she would be medevac.
Yeah, I think, honestly, if she's going to go, it might as well just be early to kind of, let her step back and focus on what she needs to do instead of having to worry about Survivor too much.
Yeah. All right, time for our weekly highlights.
Yeah.
So our first weekly highlight was my favorite, is when Rachel is messaging Evan, and Evan asks her outright, who'd you vote for? And she just goes, Liam. I love that. That was so funny. That was so funny.
The whole point was supposed to be going around the back of all of them and get Liam out. And then Rachel's just like, Liam. I thought from there the plan was going to fail, but...
Yeah, I thought that Evan would be like, oh, I'll use my guardian on him. And then, nope.
That's not the case.
Nope.
No.
Because Liam was like, no, you don't need to. Because then Cassie was like, oh, no, we only said Liam because we wanted you to bait your idols. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
flush
it.
an idol, but that wasn't what happened. And then Liam put too much faith in, and for that, he's in Ponderosa.
And now Evan's probably going to join him soon because
Maybe.
he's going crazy. I want to lose on my own terms. I'm gonna switch the game when I'm in the jury. I'm gonna, I think his plan is to manipulate them when he's in jury, but these are people, These are real people who have their own real opinions.
It's to do that, to convince, it's going to be hard, especially right now when we're so early. Further on, there's potential.
Yeah, if it was final 5, considering people don't know anything, he could just lie and be like, oh no, Cassidy told me she'd save me, or, this person told me that they'd do this and they didn't. That would make more sense, but getting out second, what are you going to do? Because these people are going to know more than you do.
And then, even now, it's not decided until you get to the final tribal council. And there's still a lot more of the game to go. There's so much more aspects to consider. So just to say, convince people or try to manipulate people into a certain vote, it's not going to happen, most likely. See, Sarah last season was pretty projected to win, and then Zoe came out on top and won somehow. So
Yes.
many votes flipped when they weren't leaning towards Zoe, they were leaning towards Sarah, which is... it shows just how monumental the final tribal council is and how decisions will change. You're not going to be able to manipulate people right now and get something right now.
Basically every other highlight we kind of already covered. Cassie told Margaret everything. Cassie got the other idol, just found it in a tree. So good for her. And then Evan gave Cassidy the Guardian idol that he had won from the reward. And so now Cassidy has all 4 idols, the fake, the Guardian, and the 2 real ones. Okay, well, so basically OP, you know.
OPAF.
Yeah.
That's how you spell Cassidy. OPAF.
Op of. Okay, our castaways of the week. I chose Margaret because right after her alliance collapsed, instead of going crazy and being melodramatic like Evan, she scrambled and tried to find something, and she, messaged Cassidy and was like, "Hey, sorry for voting for you, but like I can't stand Evan anymore. I don't want to be in his alliance." And I think she has the chance to scrape herself off the bottom and become a really big player in this game. Maybe teaming up with Abby, I think, would be a great move for her. I think a Margaret and Abby alliance would be very, very beneficial to their games. Maybe even with like Rachel or something, but I don't know.
My castaway of the week is Rachel. Come on. The flair, the eccentricity, just how dramatic the Tribal Council 11 was, just because she waited to vote. And not once, but twice, Noah put it, we're in the end game now every time she got online. Was that the case?
No.
No. Third time was a charm, though, but not the first 2 times, no. Very fun to, make it tense and nail bite. It really was a nitty gritty final tribal council there. Not final tribal council. First tribal council. Tribal council. We've been talking so much about the end. I'm thinking about the end.
We're still in the beginning of the merge, though. So
still just the very beginning. The mark it on your calendars. April 23rd is.
And spectators can come and spectate in person.
But yeah. It happened last season. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Who came? You came, and you took pictures.
Yeah, I mean,
wasn't like Amelia and Maisie there, or no? Am I losing my mind?
I think so.
I think they were there. Yeah.
So
and a lot of the spectators told me they would have voted for me. Am I allowed? I mean, you.
One person.
One. Oh, that's all I needed. That was the only one.
Oh, that is true.
I wonder if this final tribal, if someone brings a goat, meaning someone boring and hasn't done anything, if it'll be a unanimous tribal.
We'll see.
If Cassidy brings Duncan to final tribal, or Ricky even, will it be unanimous to Cassidy?
I would, if that were the case, if I were a juror, my vote would go not to Cassidy, not to the powerhouse, but to the underdog, just to kind of rip it out from underneath the curtains.
All right, well, that's all for this week. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
In the spirit of slope bracket, do you want a thumb war?
We'll see.
I actually don't really know how to do a thumb war.
I'm not. So. Wait, is it
your hand is really sweaty.
Wait.
Do
we just okay. Okay, hold on. Do we do 1, 2, 3, 4, go, or I can't. I'm pretty sure we're not doing it right. Oh, I got it. I win.
Thomas wins individual immunity. You can't get voted out in the next tribal. How do you feel? How do you feel that you're now immune?
I feel great because somehow last season, as a spectator, I was voted out. So it means a lot to me to know I won't be leaving.
All right.
We'll
see you guys next week.
Bye.